But looking at the US 500, you can see the prices don't line up because they're not the futures market. It's a CFD. So it's going to be a little spotty. It's going to act like, many times like the dollar index, where it's muddy looking sometimes. It won't be perfect like you would expect the euro and the pound and the Aussie dollar, those types of pairs where they're a little bit more liquid. This is pretty much moving in concert with what the futures contract for ES did, but it isn't going to be identical. Okay, for instance, the high end and the low end of that hourly fair value gap, which if we scrub back here, you can see the anchor points for it. They're really nice, but we trade above it, well beyond it on the CFD versus the futures contract. But we ultimately see the market trade here like this. So if we drop down to 15-minute time frame, this is what I shared today on Twitter. This chart, just like this, all these levels, and we ultimately did what? Ran up outside the range that I was looking for ES, and then it broke down and traded down into the lower objectives. So I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you, because you're going to see a lot of this year. But my expectation was I wanted to see it go up into the hourly fair value gap here. It could have wicked through it like this, not like this. This is something that completely outside of the expectation I had for ES, which is why you don't see it there. But the CFD on US 500, which is what we're looking at over here, that's the symbol, okay? This is grossly out of line with what I had expected in the ES. So the measure of precision is going to be skewed when we compare and contrast ES versus this here. Generally, they will move in the direction the same, but the levels of precision and the entry points are going to be slightly off. And that's going to, I already know that it's going to frustrate many of you. And I can see the complaints already coming in. Like, I made this for you. Okay. I didn't do anything with US 500. I'm trying to do whatever I can to help those individuals that can't trade the ES futures contract. But if I were you, okay, it would be a good investment for you just to buy the live data, which is extremely cheap on TradingView. And I do not have an affiliation with them. They do not give me any kickbacks. I have no business relationship, partnership, nothing with anybody, not a broker, not a funded account, nothing. I have no business association with anybody. I'm telling you, it's worth your while to invest and get live data for ES and NQ futures markets. That way you can spend this year with me, learn how to do this, and just simply take that information and apply it to this if you can't trade the ES, if you're outside the States and you want to use your MT4 brokers or whatever. All of the things I'm going to teach you work, just the levels aren't going to be exactly the same. That way it'll save you the insanity and being frustrated why it doesn't line up, because I'm not going to be spending every other day answering, well, my chart looks different to your. We should already be past all that.